What's up, everyone? It looks like we are back with our second sneak peek of V6-3. It came late Sunday night. I didn't expect it, but let's take a look. Look at that. What do you guys think? How cool is that, huh? I don't know if we can see something in the background. I think there is something there, and I'll get to it. I will recap it, but I really want to kind of just highlight this right here. Looks like it's a Mandalay gem, and more than likely a Mandalay gem means our queen is getting an awakening skill. The other material that's may or may not be here is this little guy, but we'll circle around back to that. This is actually from the Twitter post that Netmarble had. The fearless queen leads the inhuman awakening in a time of crisis. She'll bring one bad hair day her enemies will never forget. So in the Earth X series, she has super wild hair. It's much more prominent than her other iterations. So let's kind of take a look at some potential costumes for her. Actually, before we do that, let's take a look at what was said on the forum. It's greetings, agents. CM Fragment with Marvel Future Fight. Whenever Black Bolt, the king of the Inhumans, must leave his throne, there's always one other royal whom he trusts with the safety of his kind. Yeah, I don't know if you guys know, but in Earth X, it's not really that much of a spoiler if you're planning on reading it. Black Bolt actually died, and Medusa is kind of left to take care of the Inhumans, and she makes some interesting choices. Obviously, this is not canon in the 616 universe. It's a little bit outside of that, but she does have some commanding skills. She takes leadership. She gets married. We'll get into a little bit of that as well. So it's the same video as we saw before. We do want to highlight one little thing here that I want to point out in the text. It's actually after the sneak peek, so I'm assuming that a lot of people will actually miss it. It seems that she has discovered a new strength in order to keep all of her Inhumans safe. That's probably the awakening skill. But please look forward to the reveal of who will be the protagonist of this next spy mission. So spy mission is not something that language-wise isn't something that we use in the game at all. Spy mission is very, very vague in this sense because I don't really know what it alludes to. Could it be an epic quest? Could it be another story mode chapter? It's kind of up in the air. I really don't know offhand. So this I want to watch out for. And there's another part in this clip that I'll circle around back to at the end of the video and talk about, because that's a little bit more concerning than anything else. But this sneak peek doesn't give any indication of what her costume will look like. So let's take a look at, I think in the last video I brought up this image, the cover of Earth X. I think this is book 9, and it reveals all of the Inhumans. And I think this is the one that they're going to be basing a lot of the content from, because we have Black Bolt here front and center. We have Medusa right behind him. And then we have Gorgon, Karnak, Triton, and we also have Luna Maximoff, which I'll get into and kind of talk about who she is a little bit as well, because she's an interesting character. We may or may not get her in the game. But in terms of the first time we see Medusa in Earth X, but this is one of the looks that she has. She's got the classic shoulder pads, so it'll be interesting if they use this, because it is a look for her. And then we have this one. This is when she gets married. You can tell how big her hair is, but this is actually after Black Bolt has died. The person that she's getting married to is actually Brian Braddock. That's right, Captain Britain. And he's not really that prominent in the story. I don't think there's an opportunity for him to bring him into the game, but that is here. And it is material to kind of grab from. Earth X in general, we have talked about it in terms of who we got involved, major players, and how the universe is actually very different than the universe that we have in 616. The Terrigen Mist, when it goes into the air, it mutates everybody and changes the way that they look, even more so than what they already look like. Medusa's hair gets very, very long, gets very, very crazy, more so than she already is. And then these three, I am suspecting that they're going to get new uniforms as well, because these are actually somewhat recognizable characters. Two of them we already have in the game. and one of them we do not. So let's kind of go through those here. So here's Medusa. This is the main look. Most of the times when we see her, our first instance looks like this. She also has other looks in there as she's casually throughout the book. This is the one where she's getting married. I don't remember where this comes from, but it's also there. This is from the Earth X book itself. Then we have Karnak. Karnak, so this is Pillbrain, or Pillhead, and he looks completely different than what he normally looks like, right? Still a martial artist. I'm hoping that he gets, 2 or 3 counters. It would be hilarious because that's kind of what he does. And then we get Triton, who is a brand new character. And he is full lizard here. Normally he's got like feet, regular, he's like a regular, well, I don't know, I guess it's not regular, but it's reptile / man. But now he's gone full reptile in this one. His additional mutation takes him further into the reptile land. And then we have Gorgon, who obviously is in the game as well. We've seen him in the game. Now he's just changed to be completely, a freak of nature. So he is supposed to be super tall in this as well. I think he's larger than Lockjaw, actually. But that is potentially the 2 other uniforms and then 1 new character that we would get. I think maybe reason enough to bring 2 looks for Triton. 1 in this uniform and 1 in his regular. That'd be kind of cool to see. But the other character I wanted to talk about was Luna. Luna Maximoff is the daughter of Crystal and Quicksilver. It happens a couple of times in a couple of different universes, but this one in particular, Luna looks like a splitting image of her mother, Crystal. But in terms of abilities and whatnot, it's not explicitly clear whether or not she has any. When she gets hit by the Terrigen Mist, she doesn't change right away until the Inhumans come back. Then she takes a different look. So there's not really a reason to have her in game because she doesn't have any abilities, but it'd be interesting to see if they bring that into the fold. This is the Earth X comic. This is book 1. But as you can see here, we have Medusa with the massive hair. We have Karnak. We have Triton. We have Gorgon. We have Black Bolt with the face plate. We have Luna hanging out over here. So if we're looking at this is a little bit closer look of them in color. It's a very, very interesting comic, as I've commented before. It's definitely something you should check out and kind of read more about because this run was such a unique precedent on all of the comics as a whole. So I don't want to get into it in too much further detail, but there is this look that I wanted to kind of show you one last shot of them all and what they may potentially look like. Then we can get into, I guess, the other piece that's jarring from this video itself. It's the idea of potentially another currency or material that we have to farm. So in this image, we've got these Terrigen gems. This is what I think may be another currency that we'll have to farm and collect in order to awaken Medusa. And the reason why I think that is because it's so prominent here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 of them here. But if you'll remember, it's actually in this first sneak peek as well. It's very, very prominent here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Terrigen Mist is an actual material that causes all of these mutations to happen. I pulled this image up. This is actually the Terrigen crystal from, I believe, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So this is kind of what it looks like. And it's another material that we may have to end up collecting in order to awaken Medusa or otherwise. If we have to farm the Mandalay gem fragments as well as the awakening crystals, that might be a very, very expensive awakening skill to get. That along with potentially a tier 2 Black Bolts, maybe even a tier 2 Crystal, tier 2 Gorgon. The list could be endless for Medusa. So that's something I'm a little bit more cautionary about. I am hyped for the update. I love the Inhumans, but that one scares me a little bit. Just because that might be very, very expensive for a free-to-play player. I mean, the way that they've been forcing us to try and get us to buy Mandalay gems has been very, very, I guess greedy is a word to put it. I don't want to call them greedy right off the bat, but you never know, right? We don't know which way it's going to go. It doesn't always look very, very nice in our favor. But I'm going to leave you with that. Try not to be so much of a downer. As always, thank you for watching, subscribing, following, commenting, whatever it is. That's always greatly appreciated. I love the feedback. But until next time, be well, be safe. See you soon.